Hey YouTube, my name's Ellie and today's video is going to be ranking Disney princess movies from worst to best. And that's according to things like the legacy of the Disney princess and her movie, the plot, character development, and then of course the Disney princess herself and her personality and special qualities and things like that. If this is the type of thing that you like watching, then give this video a thumbs up and look forward to seeing more videos like this one from me. But today is all about Disney princesses. I'm clearly a huge fan of Disney. Star Wars is at the top of my list. Love all Disney princesses. And my next video idea is probably going to be ranking all the movies of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because that's also something I'm a huge fan of. So jumping right into this. Last place. I am so sorry to say that it is 1937's Snow White. Now this is ironic because it's the first ever full-length animated movie, and of course the first of the Disney princess lineup. So without her, there wouldn't be any Disney princesses, and I am forever grateful for that, but they hadn't gotten the hang of how to make a female lead interesting, and so she is kind of boring, but she's only 14, and she's very motherly towards the Seven Dwarves. The Seven Dwarves kind of carry this movie. You remember them when you think of this more than you remember the princess herself. This is one of those movies that have a really powerful Disney villain. She is one of my favorites when it comes to the Disney villains. She has magical powers. She's evil, jealous, scary, and it's the evil queen. So she's kind of iconic. But yeah, the plot is really just Snow White avoids getting killed and meets some friends along the way in the Seven Dwarfs. Coming in next is 1959's Sleeping Beauty. And the only reason this did not rank last place is because of Maleficent. Maleficent is arguably the most powerful of the Disney villains. Love her magical powers. And if we're talking live action remakes, I love the live action remake of Maleficent. I love that they gave her character a backstory and you can really sympathize with the reason she turned evil. You remember Maleficent more than you remember Princess Aurora because, again, she's boring and she's asleep the majority of the movie. So there's that. She can sing, so I'll give her that. I love the fairies. This is gonna definitely cause some controversy. 2009's Princess and the Frog. I wish I could have ranked this one higher, because we finally get ourselves a black Disney princess. We have great representation in this one. She's the last 2D princess, so I love how traditional that is. But she's a frog the majority of this movie. I mean, Disney did her dirty with that one. And it's not a coincidence that I fall asleep every single time that I try to sit through this movie. The plot is very slow-paced and boring. But I love the setting and the accuracy of the time period being the 1920s in New Orleans. I love the Southern accents. I love that she's a great role model when it comes to how hardworking she is. She's the only Disney princess with a job. So that's great for kids to look up to, is that she's going to work as hard as she needs to accomplish her biggest dream, which is owning her own restaurant. She can cook, she can sing. I love the music in this one. The villain is not that scary and he's pretty annoying. So that's why it ranked kind of low. Coming in next is also going to make some people upset, but this is just my own personal opinion, and that's 2016's Moana. Great representation again. I love the accuracy of her body type. For once, we have someone who's not stick skinny, but does she really learn anything? Is there too much of a character development in this one? For Maui, there is, from beginning, middle to end. He does a 180, but, you know, she's kind of awesome from the get, so there isn't too much development of her character. The villain is weak in this one. It's kind of stupid. Yes, scary demon of the sea or whatever, but I don't know. It just doesn't, compared to the other Disney villains, it's weak. Slow at times when it comes to the plot. I hate the part with the crab. Couldn't tell you why. I just want to fast forward it every time. I love the authenticity of the costumes and the music. And I also like that this movie starts out with the grandmother narrating and how all the other kids are like terrified at the story, but Moana's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and she is ready to get started on her adventure. She's a voyager. She loves hearing about her ancestors. So that's pretty cool. Coming in next is 2012's Brave, and I do have a special place in my heart for this one. I love the Scottish accents and just the heritage and the culture and the dynamic of her family and how her parents play off of each other. Merida is not everyone's favorite Disney princess. She's not everyone's cup of tea, but she does learn to respect her mother and the importance of family at the end. So out of all the Disney princesses, she does have a full character development in this movie. No magical powers. She doesn't sing. That's kind of rare in a Disney princess movie. There's no musical numbers, but she's very, very talented. She can climb. She's amazing at archery. She's unconventional like Moana. She doesn't need a man. I love that about her. She's against marriage. She's fearless. And she's kind of bratty because there's no real goal in mind. She's just neglecting her responsibilities as a princess without really dreaming of anything alternative. She just wants to not have to deal with the pressure, which I can relate to. This is a weaker villain. Excuse me. Mor'du, the bear dude. But some could argue that Merida also plays a part as a villain in her own movie because she stands in her own way. She's also the first and only Pixar princess, which is really freaking awesome. Coming in next is 1992's Aladdin. This is going to make some people upset because Princess Jasmine is a lot of people's favorite Disney princess. I wrote down here sexy versus over-sexualized because the costumes are not very accurate as far as the culture and the time period of this movie. But she's independent. She's also against marriage, which is a good message. You know, she doesn't judge Aladdin based off of his social status. I love that she falls in love with him despite his social class. That's a good message that people can take away from this. The villain, Jafar, he's powerful, selfish, but I dislike him because he's annoying. Not much else to say there. It is Aladdin's movie, though, hence the title. So that's the only reason why she ranks a bit lower. Coming in next is 1995's Pocahontas. Now, this is the only real person based off of true events out of the Disney Princess lineup, given some creative liberties taken by Disney. They had to Disneyfy it, you know. But it's a true story for the most part. I love how spiritual and noble she is, the respect that she has for nature and all creation around her. That's a really good message. She's brave. Ratcliffe as a villain is kind of annoying and not very threatening. Fairly easily overcome. It is something to make note of, though, is that she's not technically a real princess. She doesn't come from a royal family, but she's the chief's daughter, so close enough. Coming in next is 1989's The Little Mermaid. I had a hard time with this one because there are some flaws in the movie and in Ariel, but she is my childhood. She has been my favorite Disney princess from, the beginning. She is the first Disney princess of the Renaissance era, which thankfully brought back Disney princess movies because of how well received it was. She also ignores her responsibilities as a princess, just like Merida. She's kind of a brat in the beginning, but then she becomes human. And does she really learn anything? I don't know. That's up for debate. But the lesson you can take away from this is listen to your parents, because King Triton did ultimately have her best interests at heart, but he didn't really hear her out. So he definitely has some things to learn as a parent as well. But she can sing. She's a mermaid, which makes her 10 times more awesome. She has a great personality, other than the fact that she's a bit naive. So her head's in the clouds, and she dreams of living a life that she knows nothing about. She gets this reputation for selling her soul to be with Prince Eric. That's not true. She finds all things about humans fascinating. And so that's why she wants to live life on land. It's not just for a guy. She finds them interesting. But the whole movie is entertaining and has a great plot, and it's adventurous the whole time. you're on the edge of your seat. And as a villain, Ursula is pretty awesome. As a sea witch, she's scary. So, powerful Disney villain in that one. Coming in next is 2013's Frozen. This is going to rank way higher on most people's lists, but I think the only reason why it's not coming closer to first is because Han of the Southern Isles, he sucks. I hate him. He is our first ever twist villain. You know, there is that message that you can send young girls, you know, don't trust everything that a boy tells you, don't fall so easily. But we do get 2 Disney princesses in one movie, so there's a double whammy there. Elsa has the most amazing magical powers, hands down. She's the most powerful Disney princess. And Anna has an amazing personality. She's so relatable, hilarious. I do find that if I had to pick a Disney princess who I feel is the most like me in personality, it would be Princess Anna, because she's quirky and clumsy and a bit ditzy, maybe, sorta, kinda. But they have full character development, both of them. Anna and Elsa learn a lot about themselves. So the plot is a bit and it is interesting to note that even though this is the most popular, highest grossing Disney princess film, highest grossing animated film in history, they still haven't been officially coronated yet. I did mention this in another video of mine. They're not officially part of the Disney princess lineup, which I think is ridiculous. Like, whatever. It's fine. Moving right along. 2010's Tangled, our first ever 3D princess, coming in just a year after Princess Tiana as our last 2D princess. We get into the 3D princesses. So Rapunzel, people loved her. People received this movie really well. I do have a couple pet peeves, and that is that the King and Queen don't get any speaking lines. And it's not like Disney didn't have the budget, okay? They could have easily thrown them a bone and given the King and Queen a couple speaking lines, but no. Another pet peeve I have with this is the 5 minutes and 30 seconds of narration in the beginning. It's a bit excessive. And I also think it's kind of annoying and unnecessary how Flynn Rider breaks the fourth wall while he's narrating. I know he's trying to be... Sorry about that. Got interrupted for just a moment. I had a phone call, but yeah, that's just a pet peeve. No big deal, but I didn't think he needed to break the fourth wall. It was just something kind of clever and cute. Mother Gothel as a villain is very scary, very powerful, and super duper manipulative. So as far as Disney villains go, she's up there. The adventure and the plot of this movie keeps you entertained the entire way through as an audience. So yeah, character development, Eugene is the one with a full character arc, because he goes from being criminal to lover boy. Moving right along, third place is 1950's Cinderella. And the reason why she ranks so high for me is if I were to close my eyes and think of a Disney princess on the spot, first one that comes to mind is Cinderella. And maybe that's because of, you know, Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom has Cinderella's castle. Or maybe it's because Walt Disney's favorite animation sequence that he's ever done was transforming her raggedy dress into that gorgeous blue ball gown. I don't know, but for whatever reason, the legacy of this one is just really high up there for me. I think she is the epitome, the cliche of a Disney princess. She gets a bad reputation for waiting for a prince to come rescue her. That couldn't be further from the truth. She is a victim, and despite all odds, she stays strong, gentle, kind. She's so mistreated, and she just has such a heart of gold. So as far as personalities go, she is up there. She speaks to animals. She has a gorgeous singing voice. No magical powers, but hey, I freaking love Cinderella. The stepmother as a villain is bitterly jealous, so cold, so cruel, and even the stepsisters get on my last nerve. No superpowers, but scary supervillains. The plot of this one, a lot of it is the mice. Jack Jack, Gus Gus, whatever. You're following their story a lot of the time. So that's why it's only third. Second place, 1991's Beauty and the Beast. Now, Belle is a great role model for young girls. She's book smart. She's stubborn in the best way. She's very mature. No magical powers, but that doesn't stop her from being awesome. As far as villains go, Gaston is a joke. And you could even say that the Beast kind of plays a role as the villain in this one. Excuse me. The lesson you can take away from this, that beauty is found from within. And that is such an amazing message. The Beast has a full character development. And as the plot goes, it's a great story. She saves her dad. It's entertaining. Amazing songs. If I'm not mistaken, it's even won awards for the musical numbers in this one. And last is first place, 1998's Mulan. Now, this could possibly be a real person. It's based off of a Chinese folktale. Mulan is an amazing role model. She's a tough girl. She also saves her father's life and sacrifices herself. She starts out being late and irresponsible, and by the end of the movie becomes a warrior. Her training montage is so entertaining. Fun fact, she has the most kills in Disney history. So, I mean, there's no denying that she's amazing. She can fight, she's clever, she has honor, bravery, she's strong, resilient, she can take a lot of crap. She cares for her father. Even within the first couple minutes of this movie, we see her reminding her dad to take his medicine. I mean, just such an awesome daughter. As far as villains go, the Huns are scary, very threatening, but they don't have much personality to them compared to villains like Ursula, the Evil Queen, and Maleficent. We know more about who they are, and the Huns are just kind of vague when it comes to Disney villain. But yeah. Oh, one thing to note, she is like Pocahontas in the sense that she's not technically from a royal family. She's not technically a Disney princess, but guess what? She's still first place. And I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, talking about live action, I cannot wait to see the live action remake of Mulan. It comes out in just a couple of short weeks. You best believe my butt is going to be in the theater seeing that one because the trailer looks so stinking good. And I'll probably make a movie review of that one too. So thank you so much for watching this. My name's Ellie, and look forward to seeing more videos like this one from me. Cheers.